guys, my name is ChenChen and I'm here to take you on a tour around my office space where I work. So basically this is it. And I have all my art supplies scattered around. So we have some here, and I usually keep them here, but then I have all of them here. And then I also have some more out here. In this little drawer thing. And then sometimes I keep my artworks here as well. So anything I don't use, basically, I just throw in here. Yeah. And here I have all my paints that I use. These are all acrylics. Watercolors, I usually use this palette right here. And it's basically all for materials. So this is one of my artworks. I use this one on my portfolio, and this one is charcoal. And I put it behind like a wooden frame, so it's better protected. And then we have some more here. So this is the one I did on culture. I use the dragon as a symbol of Chinese culture. And then the dragon itself is made out of watercolor. The background is acrylic, and then there are actual rocks here. And I have some red strings and those things because red and gold make up Chinese colors, I guess. And then I have some more things in here. So this is a watercolor piece. And then I stuck some magazine bits on top. And this basically represents woman empowerment. And like the darkness at the bottom represents like the hate and those things from society. Yeah, that was one of our school projects. And then I did this a long time ago. That's also watercolor. And then we have some more charcoal pieces. And some here as well. So this is basically like an imaginary city underwater kind of idea or concept. And then this one is a swan. So those ones I didn't use for my portfolio, but it's just good to keep it there. And then this piece took me the longest. It's acrylic, and this was also on my portfolio. This is a self-portrait. It was also for a school project. This one's acrylic as well. This one isn't, I'm not really happy with this one, but it's because this was kind of last minute. This is acrylic as well. I really like working with acrylic. It's a little dark. This one is basically a map of the world, but I made it using the concept of a human body. And then the last one is the cow's eye. And this one is oil paint. Basically, it represents like animal abuse, yeah, that was a concept. So you see in the middle of the eye, it's like a person, a figure. Yeah. Basically, those are all my artworks. When it comes to like universities and those things, I have a lot of like these books underneath with everything that I need. I've applied for a couple of universities like McMaster's, OCAD, Western, York, but I decided to go to OCAD because they specialize in art. Which piece do you mean? The eye? Anyways, my portfolio is basically all here. I incorporated most of these in my portfolio. I did the cow's eye, the large one, this one, this one. I didn't add that one in mine though. I added this one, and this one. I used all the works that I thought were that had the best messages, I guess, mostly towards society and stuff. Oh, the body one. This one, there wasn't really a message. It's basically using a concept of a map, but instead of doing a regular map, I kind of wanted to compare it to the human body. You know how comparing like the discoveries made every day that you'll never actually make all the discoveries like in the oceans and those things. So I kind of connected that to the human body where new discoveries are being made every day, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. And then the countries in the body were the ones that I've visited. So Canada, of course, China, United States, and then the other countries like Germany, Russia, France, those are the places I wanted to visit. So yeah. And that's basically it. Oh, you also have this. This is kind of like a way to kind of write my name, I guess. Kind of like a signature. This was made in school, and we do one of these each year. So yeah, that's basically it. For university, I did choose OCAD. I'm going there next year. Yeah, I'm going there next year, and actually really excited. So I think this one's no. Okay, so that's basically it. I did do some new works, like a portrait of my aunt, but I gave it away, so there's no way to see it. But it was acrylic, and it was kind of like that. But of course, it was of my aunt. Yeah. I don't know if you want to see this one. This is a little duck I did a long time ago. And this is made of clay. It's not the best, but I'm not really good at clay. What is the most valuable experience? For me, the most valuable experience is learning new things. For example, mm, yeah, the cow's eye. I guess I've learned the most because I actually had to research about what happens around the concept of animal abuse and slaughterhouses, and I found it was really important to know. And then as I was making the actual piece, I just I just kept wanting to make it better because I really wanted to get the message across. Yeah. Sometimes the person in the middle isn't really noticed, but I try to make it more noticeable with like the knife and the white highlights of it. Uh, White art making. I guess I'm not really sure, but it's always been my passion. Ever since I was little, making art was all I wanted to do. It's my favorite thing, so. And I think art making, it really it really makes me calm, like when I'm in a bad mood or when I'm really bored or something. I just want to make art. It doesn't really have to be like actual art pieces. The other day I was bored, so I took some paper towel and I literally just started coloring. Yeah. And I know this space isn't the biggest, but it's comfy. And I usually don't keep my art pieces here. I keep them in a closet so they're nice and safe. Because in this way, I would be bumping around them. Yeah, the space isn't enough. My biggest influences, I wouldn't have exact artists in mind, but I've been aiming for um, photographic realism. Those artists really inspire me. Their artworks are actually incredible, and one of my artworks, this one, was kind of influenced by, I forgot his name, but yeah, it's based off of one of his self portraits that are really realistic. And I thrive to be that good one day, so just keep going, you know? Again, when it comes to university, these are all my books. I went to the university fair like a couple times, and I tried to see which place was best or had the best art programs. So I usually just go to OHAD, York University, those places, and I get all of their books. So I ended up with this huge collection. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them next. I like acrylic because I feel like it's easiest to work with. Like oil is fun to work with, but it's really messy, and sometimes it's really hard to work with because the oil goes everywhere. But when it comes to acrylic, I don't know, it's faster to use because it dries faster. So you can put multiple layers on top of each other in a short amount of time, and that really saves time. See, if I were to do this one in oil paint or any other medium, I don't think it'd come out the same because oil takes a long time to dry. And this one, so you see some places they don't really have paint on them, like there and there. Making art. So basically, when I make a piece, I start off with like an outline or a layout. Here's an example. I'll use this one as an example. So first, I think of a concept that I want to do, either based on something that's given or based on like a message I want to give across. And then I think of like some influences. Sometimes I go online and I search up different influences. Like this one is based off of a statue about women empowering over the centuries. And then I decided to draw it instead of something else because we had a lot of other options, but I chose a statue and I thought it looked really cool with all the highlights and different values. And then afterwards I would make like an outline. So I started with drawing the actual figure, and then I thought about the background and what my message was, and then I drew the stage, and then I put in all the values. And then the magazine parts that happened in art class, he told me to make it more, how do I say, use different materials, I guess, because it's off of a statue, that kind of be copying, even though it's a painting instead of an actual statue. So for grade 11 kids who are currently making their portfolios, just start your portfolio. I have some friends who started their portfolios the last second and it didn't really work out well for them. They kept rushing, and I'm not sure if they actually finished their portfolio in time or if they put as much effort as they could have. But yeah, start as soon as you can, because in that way you won't have to rush and you can put your best effort in. I don't really have a theme in my work. Some of them have messages, some of them don't. Like this one is based off of my imagination. So is the underwater city one. A lot of these don't really have themes. It's just based on a concept I'm given or something I need to express, like the cow. But this one, theme is culture. I was given culture as the theme, and of course I used my own culture and just started thinking of everything that symbolized my culture, such as red, gold, the dragon. And then for the background, I didn't really know what to add, so I was thinking of the environment of China, those old-time China films kind of. So I decided to paint one of those, and then rocks to kind of fit the environment of the dragon. And for the dragon, I mostly used red and gold, but I also added some blue for value. Kind of wanted to stick to the theme. The biggest challenge I face, I feel like it would be the actual painting part. sometimes it's really difficult. Like the self-portrait, it took me a long time because I just had to repaint the layers over and over again until I got it right. It's really hard to make something look realistic, especially if it's yourself, I guess. Because I took a picture of myself, and as I was painting, I had to look into at the computer right beside me, and it was really hard to compare. So I think that's the hardest part for me. Yeah, for OCAD, you need to submit sketchbook works. Like, I submitted a lot of sketchbook works. I have some sketchbook. This is my sketchbook. So I just submitted the pages I thought were the best ones, and then I put them into a video, and then I submitted the video to OCAD. But I think they had a time limit. I wasn't really sure how to fit everything in, but I just made each picture like 2 seconds. So it really went past everything. I also put some design ones because I thought they would want variety instead of just watercolor and those things, and then some like portraits. Yeah. And some of these things were over the years, so these portraits that I made, I did them like 2 years ago, but instead of keep them in a sketchbook that I would probably never use again, I just put it into this one, which I knew I was gonna put in my portfolio. Yeah, I can go through my sketchbook. So the first couple of pages, when I first got the sketchbook, I just wanted to sketch random stuff. So I just found some pictures of figures online, and then I drew some family pictures as well, and then I used a variety of colors so they will look nice together. And then OCAD really looks for like words and journals. It's usually about how I feel when I'm drawing, or how they came out, stuff like that. This was on a road trip. I was in the car and I just started sketching. This was something I found online. This is experimentation. Doesn't look the best, but... And this was also from a while ago. I just cut it out and put it on here. Yeah, this was also experimenting. We had like a lesson in school, and I just took the calligraphy pen and I just started drawing. And then I took some charcoal, and then I put some whiteout over it just as see what happened. Yeah, and this is blind contour of my friends. And these were just some notes took in class. Yeah, I usually start with a sketch first, like planning, before I move on. So these are some of my planning parts. This was on the... Oh, here. This was on one of the self-portrait projects. So I did a rough copy of it, see how I would like the style. And then I did some more planning here. And then this was also the planning because we had to use braids. So I just tried different combinations of braids. And then I tested out the color combinations. And yeah. And then this was me experimenting with pastel because that's what we needed to use. Yeah, there's a lot of planning. This was for my design class. And we were working on a chair concept. And we just kept planning. This is on my ISP proposal, and this is for the map. This is for inking. When it comes to projects, when I come up with an idea, it's sometimes it just comes right out of my head. Like I hear the concept and then straight away I know what to do. But I usually do make a lot of like thumbnails, and then I keep drawing each idea out because they keep popping into your head, and so you want to record everything. And when I record everything, I look back at everything I've already drawn down, and then I see which one I like best. Experimenting in your sketchbook's really, really useful. Like here, I learned that if you keep your acrylic pages like that stuck together, kind of like tears the paint off. And I wrote that on the side note right there. So this is more my planning for my project. And this was for design as well. We were designing a dress. Yeah. And at one time I had a really big thing for hot glue. So I just kept including into everything. This is a receipt. This is another project. This is for my self-portrait. So these are kind of my thumbnails. This is what I ended up with, and I just wanted to see if I wanted it like a close-up view or one from the distance, and the type of shading I would like at the back. And then it was based off of some other portraits from other famous artists. And this is more, that's my hand. This was a time when I really, really liked working with hot glue. Just kind of experimenting. I never got to finish this one, but basically my concept was to put half of these in black and white, and then the other parts would be in color. This one's watercolor. This was one of my assignments in elementary school, actually, in grade 8. And I found it and I just put it on. And yeah, that's my last page. More experimentation with my name. Yeah, that's one of many sketchbooks. The other sketchbooks, I mostly just took out the good pages and then put it in that one. This was for the dragon. Kind of started the concept of it. So those are like my thumbnails. This is for one of my projects, and this is all my planning for it. And then if you look at the thumbnails, I kind of incorporated two of them together. So I did this one, and then I did this one, and then I ended with this. This is comparing the growth of nature and humans, and comparing like the similarities, because then you have youth, and then you have young adult, and then you have adult. Yeah, there's not much in here. My definition of art, never really thought of that. I never really thought about how I define art. I just think of art as something that lets you express yourself, because art isn't limited to just painting and drawing. I feel like it's any way that you can really express your emotions, because to me, I take my my emotions out on my art. So let's say anger and those strong emotions, you can really just throw paint around and you would really just feel better. This is made of string. This actually took me a long time to make. It looks like it didn't, but it did. And I bought all of this just for that. And I think I'm going to use this in the future for more projects. Yeah. And I have something else that's outside. So So this is a rock for grade, I think it was grade 9 or 10. We had a English project where we had to kind of act in a role, and my part needed a rock or a boulder. So instead of drawing one with pen, I made one. It's kind of dusty right now because I haven't touched it in a while. It's just been out in the garage, but basically this is made out of styrofoam, and when I made this, it was really bad because the styrofoam went everywhere. Styrofoam's really hard to use. It's really painful to clean up too. And then I put newspaper on it, and then I put glue over it so it would stick together, and then I used gray, light gray and white, and just tried to make it look like a rock or a stone or a boulder. And yeah. I've been meaning to put this somewhere in a house for like decoration, and I've been meaning to add more to it, like add some fake grass and those things and create like a whole environment on it. But I don't have the supplies right now. I need like flowers and those things. So I will get to that one day. Yeah. Oh, we have some more things here. So these are more materials. And these, I believe, are watercolor pencils. Haven't tried them yet, but I really want to soon. These ones are regular color pencils. And these are acrylic, some watercolor panels, some paintbrushes. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's to hold water. We have a book that guides you. And then we have watercolor, pastels. I took out the oil paints. I need them for a project. And I got this from Michael's, I believe. And it's really convenient to carry around because it's a briefcase. Yep. And then I have this one as well. It's basically the same thing, but bigger. And yeah, that's basically everything I have for art. We have some more things here. I think these are empty. Put all of them here. I try to organize it as best as I can because when you're doing art, it's really useful to have everything close to you. So if I'm working right here, I can just lean over and grab something. That way you don't have to scramble everywhere to find everything. Yeah. I have some markers, those things here. Okay. This is something I was working on a while ago, actually a long time ago. I guess I don't think it was really for any project, but I just had the spare time, never got to finish it. It's really rolled up. And I have this huge roll of billboard or poster board. I think it's poster board. It becomes useful for different projects. And you can also cut it up and use it for different reasons. And then I have a collection of magazines here. I usually like to cut them up and create random things with it. I have newspaper as well to lay under my artwork so I don't get the paint everywhere. And then this is what I use when I'm painting. And then I put it on top of here. And then I place these right here on this table. not a lot of space to go with, but it works. I think that's why I'm really excited to go to OCAD. I want to see what it's like to actually work in a full-on studio with all the materials that I need, because I'm running low on paints and I'm always scared that I'm using too much on a single project. But when you go to university, you're free to experiment, I guess. And I really want to work in a space with other people, especially on group projects and those things. Yeah, Lego. I had this idea to create like a spinny thing, but it's not really working because it's not stable. And I used a fidget spinner. I used a fidget spinner that I wasn't using anymore, but the idea never worked, so I just kept it there for now. Oop. If it worked, it would have been really useful for placing, I don't know, random things. This was a cookie box. I usually just take whatever that's being thrown away and then I use it for organization. So that's a cookie box, and this is tissue box. And I have this roll of paper towel thing. I was gonna use it for something, but I don't think it'll work. I think this is Bristol board. When you live with your parents and you're an art student, they probably talked about your cluster and your table full of stuff. Honestly, I don't have anywhere to put it. This is my shelf for books, and as I said, my supplies used to be here, but I moved them in there, and it's not the easiest to get to, but it works. And I also have this box of Lego. I don't play with it anymore, but I keep it around just in case I need it for a project. Like I need it to glue onto artwork or something like that. Oh, it broke. It's okay. And just keep it there for whenever I want to use it, I guess. Okay, so I guess that's basically it. Not much else to talk about. Bye.